Oh, it didn't. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's the liberal loudmouth. And as always, I'm here with
The real Ron, just keeping it real on a Sunday. You know what I mean, Tim?
Hells Yeah. What do you think of my hairdo?
I
What do you think of my
love it.
hairdo?
It's
Isn't that great?
very 1980ish. Just
I'm just gonna let everybody see what needs to be seen. We got the cartoon Beetlejuice going on.
I love Beetlejuice.
So
That's twice we've said his name too.
oh shit! Don't say it again, Ron. We might have some Boebert coming into town.
No doubt. Hey Tim, is it okay if I vape real quick?
I don't think you're allowed to do that in here, but I actually know who you are, so I'm gonna just let it slide.
Obviously you don't know who I am.
I mean, Jesus, you know what? And well, so why did we decide to go ahead and do Sunday Gospel about Lord Boebert? Lay out the story for us, Ron.
Here's a story, and I know you read the article and stuff, but we hadn't even talked about this until this morning. But I brought it up to you. I was like, "Did you see what that crazy lady that looks like she's my kind of people, just a real good time, just wanted to get drunk and go out and enjoy a good show, good family Christian show called Beetlejuice."
Oh, that was the third time. Shit.
Oh, damn.
Bad things are happening.
But
go ahead.
And I was fine with her getting kicked out for vaping and being loud and being obnoxious or whatever she was doing, because she's hot. I mean, she is smoking hot.
Yeah,
and that doesn't excuse poor behavior. I'm not saying that, but then I looked at the video and I'm looking at this dude just groping handfuls of boob.
I mean, he was getting it, and she was all like putting it on her too.
Yeah, I mean, the dude sitting next to her could have got some of that action. I mean, it was just
wow.
You turn your head too quick, and you're just like, look, like, gotta
man. And do you think that's appropriate, Ron?
No, not at all. At the very least, I think that was, I don't know what you'd call it. It was lewd behavior in a movie theater for sure.
Yep. They were ooh, the lights are off.
Yeah, nobody can see us.
That's what they do when they think nobody can see them.
Right.
That's really what this is about. I'm going to go ahead and put up this video. In case you haven't seen it, we're going to play a little clip from a YouTube video here. It's pretty wild. Now, you want to talk about some woke shit. Here we go. Let's do this. Let me make.
Look at how
bigger.
full this theater is.
Oh yeah, no, it's so bad. Here we go.
Boebert. Say it 3 times and she appears. A security video from a weekend performance of Beetlejuice, where the congresswoman was kicked out of the theater for being disruptive. The DCPA says she was vaping. Boebert's team denied that. Said the haze was from fog machines in the show.
She's literally vaping.
See the video.
Okay, I'm gonna pause it right there for a second. Okay, no. This reminds me of the song by Shaggy. It wasn't me.
Wasn't me.
Yeah, I mean, lady, we see you vaping. Do it, Ron. Show them how it's done.
Here's the thing. You pick up your vaping device, and then you blow it into the person in front of you and annoy the shit out of them.
No, Ron. That's from your fog machine. That's what that was from. It just happened to be coming out of your mouth.
Do you even know who I am?
Oh, man. I don't, but I feel like we're about to find out who this person is in this video. Let's continue.
Sitting behind Boebert told the Denver Post she asked her to stop vaping, and Boebert refused. Her one-woman show continued.
Look at this.
Look at this. Okay. That one right there actually pissed me off worse than the titties. Like, you can grab titties, whatever, but if you're in the middle of a dark theater, people are trying to watch, they paid good money to watch it. You're over there with your fucking flash on, taking it.
She probably didn't even pay for the fucking tickets that she was there for. And that lady behind her is big enough, she probably could have whooped her ass.
Right, that lady behind her was pregnant, and she's asking her to stop vaping.
Sorry, lady behind her.
Yeah, so she's like, can you please stop vaping? She probably said, I'm pregnant, and Boebert's like, fuck you. I'll do what I want. Do you know who I am? Oh, my God. Okay, we'll continue. All right, here we go.
Raising her hands and dancing, often the only one clapping or standing up in the crowd. Boebert occasionally took a break from being disruptive to enjoy the
Ignorant.
company of her male
Ignorant.
companion.
Her male
Briefly had a
companion. Here it
grasp
is.
on the situation
Oh, yeah.
before ushers
Oh,
returned
yeah.
and told Boebert she had to leave. The theater's incident report says Boebert pulled the "Don't you know who I am" card on the way
Oh.
out, appearing to give theater employees the single finger salute.
Oh,
Thanks for watching.
yikes.
Here's
What?
my thing. Here's my thing. They knew where she was seated at, so somebody. I love Lauren too, but here I'll get to Blaine's comment in just a second. They knew where she was seated at, so somebody in the video booth, the security booth, was just sitting there like, "Am I going to get to see a nip slip here?" What? Before they said, "Hey, we got to put a stop to this."
Right. Well, now, what wasn't shown in the clip is she had her hands down into the promised land of old dude's lap. Okay, so I'm not going to bother playing that because, whatever. It wasn't like she
Yeah.
was,
I mean,
full on going at it in the theater, but still, this is a. God.
Here's what bothers me about this, and I do love Lauren. I think she represents some great American values like OK2A and conservative values. But when you stand up and go to Congress and talk about moral turpitude and how you're supposed to act and what you're fighting for and this and
Yeah.
that, and then you go out in public and you behave like an ignorant ass idiot, you don't deserve that position.
Right. That means you don't believe the shit that you're saying to other people. That's why I made a post today, and I'm like, this is that Lauren Boebert's version of woke ideology, I guess.
Maybe we
Jeez.
should get her to come on the show.
Yeah, she might. I don't know. Be like, lady, you're gonna have to cover it up. This is a respectable program.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is
We
a
don't do
PG
shit
show.
like Yeah.
Yeah.
We got kids that watch it.
Yeah.
What's up, Joe? What's up, man?
Oh, JoJo's here. Good job.
Yeah.
Good job.
Man, it really irritated me, the flash on that cell phone.
That was
Like-
the flash and the vape. The other shit was kind of like, it's a movie theater. That's what you do.
Right. Like, I don't know, but to do that and to think that it's okay, and she eventually apologized. Apparently, I haven't heard it,
Obviously,
but
she was probably drunk.
I have a feeling.
And it looks like a good time to me.
Oh, info coming to you soon. To you two and Lane. Okay, all right.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, we're
we're-
going to have Joe on. I forgot about that. Joe said that he would like to come on sometime.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad you ran that by me.
Well, no, I was doing my own little thing the other night, a little Ron special thing about Warner or something, and Joe happened to come on. And I was like, Joe, Tim's sick or doesn't feel good, and you want to come on here with me? He's like, I will, but not right now.
Yeah, I was just kidding. I don't care if Joe comes
Oh, I know,
on.
yeah. No. I'm glad you popped up, Joe, because I forgot about that.
Well, speaking of people coming on, that was the
Yeah.
other thing. I put it in the title, the upcoming guests. So
Got
we
some
have
good ones.
So I reached out to Wayne Hill. He has agreed to come on, though we haven't set a date yet.
Who the hell's Wayne Hill?
Wayne Hill, he's the, what do they call it? The vice chair? Is that what it is?
He's a vice chair.
of Oklahoma GOP. So
Good dude. I love Wayne.
yeah, and we were talking about him the other day, and Nathan Dahm and all that stuff. So I'm glad that he's willing to come on here and talk about, shoot the shit about whatever. We also reached out to Timothy Brooks, and he is so that's going to be next Thursday.
Very excited about coming on.
Next Thursday at 6
p.m.
o'clock. Yeah, and then who else?
We got Melissa P.
Yeah, Melissa Provenzano on the 26th. I have reached out to Paul Hassink. Is that how you say his name?
Yes.
Yeah, and
I believe he's
offered-
running for House District 79 with Melissa and Stan.
Right. Yeah. So, we'll see how that goes. He's seen the message, or at least his campaign page has seen the message. I haven't received a response back yet. So we got a lot of good
I don't
stuff.
mean to interrupt y'all, but I just got this new light and it makes me look jaundiced, but I promise my liver enzymes are fine. I don't know how to adjust it, but I'm fine. Anyway, who else do we got? We got somebody else, don't we?
So Grant says she is wrong. I don't know about her not deserving office over it. Seems a little extreme. Yeah, I mean,
Who the hell said she didn't deserve office? I said she just can't go up there on Congress floor and talk about people's morals.
I think you said she shouldn't be there if she's going to
Talking about moral
say one-
turpitude
right,
and
right.
She can go up there and talk about gun legislation all she wants.
Yeah, which
Just don't preach to me about this. You need to go to church. And
here's Lane. Lane, are you speaking from experience, buddy? You need to stay out the theaters, boy.
no doubt, Lane.
Far worse has been done in movie theaters. That's funny. Oh, for sure. But that's kind of that. It reminds me of Larry Craig, I think was his name. Wasn't that his name? He's a Republican, and he got busted trolling for stuff in the men's bathroom. Remember that? This is like 10 years ago.
It was gay stuff, right? Like homosexual stuff, right?
Yes, and this is a dude that had sponsored or signed on to like anti-gay legislation and had railed against homosexuality for years, and then then he gets busted in the bathroom. It's do as we say, not as we do. We got to get rid of that stuff. That's nonsense.
It's out of control. And Joe, I can't. I mean, I'm not a matchmaker here, man. I don't know what you did, my man Grant.
Grant, you getting called out, buddy? Yeah, I don't know about that. Lane says, "Get my head out the gutter." I'm sorry when I see her bustier all over the internet. It's hard not to.
It was a great looking dress. She's a beautiful woman. She absolutely deserves the right to go out and have a good Saturday night or whatever it was. Absolutely. But the flashing the camera and thinking she was more entitled than anybody else just because she's a city. What is she? A house member?
Representative. Yeah.
Just because she sits in the house. Really, just that's not my people. That's not how you're supposed to go up there and act. You're supposed to humble yourself and you're supposed to lead by example.
Example, yes. That's a great point. And I don't know that, save that stuff for the bedroom. I don't care if you're straight or gay. I don't want to go to a theater and watch two people like going at it in the theater. Like, it's distracting because it's like the train wreck. You don't want to see it, but you can't stop looking at it, right?
Yeah, it's very uncomfortable to some people.
Right.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I'd probably watch, but I mean, some people would find it. Yeah.
Who wouldn't?
I don't have any moral values according to Charity Marcus. So.
Oh, snap! Speaking of charity, no, I got no new information about that, but I am working on a video about the Tulsa crew, the crew with all the people. I had asked people for information about Rhonda and that group of people, and we're getting some good information. So,
you're talking about the Cool Kids Club up in
Cool Kids Club. We need a name for that group, Ron. What do you think a good name of them would be? It's not too trashy.
The Maleficent Seven.
Maleficent Seven.
How do you say that word?
Maleficent. Yeah, Maleficent.
Maleficent. Malicious Seven.
Well, malicious would work too.
Yeah.
If you have a name suggestion for that group of cool kids, please let us know in the comment section.
And if we choose to call them that, then I'll send you an 8x10 glossy signed. It'll say the Loud Mouse, and we'll get you a signed copy of it.
Now, I think it may not be worth anything now. Yeah. Give it a few years, and it will.
Give it a few decades, and we'll be worth some money.
Yeah,
especially after we die and you can't get our signatures.
Right. That's when it's really going to be valuable. They're going to look back on this show and be like, you know what? These fellas were onto something here.
I hope that just like in federal court where our videos were shown, when aliens do arrive, the very first thing they see when they plug into our internets is us.
Yep. They'll be like, oh, he has resting dick face. That's exactly what's going to happen. So what else has been going on with you and Warner? You've been telling me some crazy shit going on out there.
Man,
what's up?
Warner, I've been all over the state. You've been with me on a lot of this stuff, but we go to different school boards and city councils, and we're getting involved in all these politics, and we see all the nasty stuff that goes on. And I'm not saying that Warner's got nasty politics or corruption going on, but it's hard to find information. And what that tells me is they don't want the information to be found. Yeah. Maybe. So...
or they're just, people are so tuned out of what's going on in the politics that they just don't ever ask. So that's a possibility too. They may never have had anybody reach out to them and ask them.
Here's the thing. We know about the police force walked out in I think last part of May, first part of June. So for a couple months, we didn't have a police force. Now we have one police officer, and I think they're going to hire another couple this week. But we've just been without, and we're 30 minutes away from county, mountie, whatever, deputy. I don't know what you call them, but anyhow, I've been kind of causing a little bit of a how I get people riled up and get them motivated, right?
Yep,
And
yep.
this town has been coming out because people have stray dogs and their yards need to be cut, and there's no code enforcement, and there's needles down at the park in the bathrooms and graffiti.
Yikes. Seriously?
It's really, they shut the park down. They closed the park at the last meeting because
Wow.
people don't want their kids up there. It's really that bad. And
Wow.
they're down one city councilor or one town councilor right now. They're fixing to have to do a special election for that position. There's just
Talk about that. Talk about that, why they're doing an election instead of what they had previously thought of.
Well, they're doing an election now, and I got a little bit more information off this. I'm glad you asked that. There were 6 applicants. They had decided to take applications to appoint this town councilor to fill this seat. Well, then they decided that instead of doing that, they wanted the people to choose the town council. So they did away with the applicants and said, "Hey, we're just going to hold a special election. Everybody can run, and y'all can pick who you want to." I'm more inclined to, and I'm on board with that.
Yes, I agree that that's going to be the better way to do it. But to me, like if there's a stipulation that you can appoint somebody and you've decided, well, we're going to go ahead and appoint somebody, but then you start looking at the applicants and you're like, oh,
and that's what happened. Yeah, that's what happened.
Right.
Or you're going to piss this person off and you're not going to piss this person off. Or
right. And it's like, well, these 6 people suck, so you're going to have to put some money out and run.
Yeah.
That's weird to me, but it is better for an election than otherwise. But
I will say that several people have reached out to me for me to run. That's not even going to happen at least for another 6 months.
Yeah, that sucks.
Because once you move from county to county, you have to re-register and redo your whole voter thing, and you have to be established for 6 months at your residence before you can run for any office. And I knew that coming into this.
Right.
But that doesn't mean that I still can't be an active member and try to help out the community. I will say that they've been talking about us and our show at the barbershop. I've gotten so many new friend requests and followers just picking up, and people have been
from Warner
and in this area. Yes, people have been. I go to the store, Harp's grocery store here in Warner, and the people are like pulling over and not recognizing me, and so I think it's going to be a good thing. And I just want to say this to the people that are listening that think that I'm here trying to stir up shit. That is one of the things I do, but it's for
in a good way.
It's for a productive purpose. The more people you get involved, the more ideas come out, and the better everything gets. And Absolutely. I don't want anybody to lose their job necessarily. I just want people to do their job.
Right. And, there's people don't like change, So when you come in and you start asking them to do what they should have been doing already, if that's the case, they're, oh, God, here we go. But, at the end of the day, people need to be more active, because shit like what just happened with the police department probably wouldn't have happened if that was the case.
Right. And I don't know. Am I allowed to do an open records request dealing with why the police department walked off the job? Or will they shut that down and redact it all?
They could consider that a personnel matter, but if there were like gossipy type things going on, those communications should be open records requestable. Joey Sennett is a good guy to reach out to about that.
Joey Sennett. Okay. He's the guy that did the LaFleur County.
Right, when that guy left the tape recorder behind. Now, I have to disagree with Joey on this. Now, those people after the meeting were still talking about meeting stuff, so technically it was still a public meeting. But had they not, this dude was recording them, and he wasn't there and left his recorder behind to record a conversation he wasn't a part of.
Which is illegal.
Right. And I don't think that was right, but, he just lucked out and they happened to be doing what he was recording them for. This is funny. To the people who think I'm here to stir up shit, you're right. Ron Cosby.
I mean, that's is that wrong?
No, it's not wrong. It's right because, people become complacent. And that's what COVID did. COVID stirred up some shit, and that's why everybody started coming out, and they were like, okay, things are wrong, and we need to fix this. So
And this is what COVID got me going on this, but you've been doing this for years.
yeah, I've been doing this for years. I mean, I've been dealing with schools since my kids were in elementary school. I remember one time there was in Broken Arrow Public Schools, in the manual, it said, because there were some ridiculous rules that didn't make sense that were in there, and there was like, these rules are here to teach kids how to follow rules. And I'm like, look, if you're making a rule that doesn't have any purpose other than just to make a rule, that's stupid. There are plenty of rules that kids will have to follow that make sense.
Right.
Dress code and shit like that. Like, that's beyond me, but, I didn't like Broken Arrow schools. Owasso was better, in my opinion.
I like Owasso, especially after we got rid of that superintendent.
Oh, snap. Yeah. Mr. Ryland, I just want to let you know I'm still the superintendent. I'll always remember that quote.
I'll tell you this, though. Warner is ranked 7th in the state as far as the highest performing high school.
Really?
Yeah,
That's awesome.
They got a phenomenal school system down here, and I went to school with several of the board members. One of them I graduated with, and they're doing a fantastic job. But they have a zero tolerance policy for cell phones.
That's good. They need to remove screens from classrooms entirely. This is a fight that I won't ever give up because it's a good fight. It's a good battle. We need to go back to pencil and paper. I don't see why we need to deal with all these screens that are distracting, and kids are able to. And then they have to create software and put software on the teacher's computers so that they can remotely monitor every kid's screen,
Right.
which they can do while the kids are at home, by the way, just to make sure that they're not on YouTube or something. It's like, well, how many pieces of paper and pencils do you know of that play YouTube videos?
Thank you, Jesus. Thank you.
Zero.
And for those of us, I know that our numbers keep jumping up a little bit. For those of y'all that have come in and don't know what the hell's going on with our screens in the back, I love this lady right here. I think that vaping and flashing your camera in a dark theater is phenomenal. You should do it all the time. You should just have your titties hanging out, and just as long as you're conservative and you got a gun on your hip, I say go for it. Tim hates her.
It's only appropriate if everybody has paid to come and watch the thing, because it's highly respectful to basically be getting it on in the seat and flashing your stuff and smoking in front of a pregnant lady.
Yeah,
and flipping the bird. You can't remember. You can't forget. Oh, and she pulled the Dean Davis. Do you know who I am? You remember that?
That is one of the reasons I can't run for office, because that, Tim, is like, people are going to know. I mean, you've seen me do this in front of people to giving speeches. I'm going to cuss. I'm not going to hide who I am.
Yeah.
That dude that went off on us and called us crazy, and the abortion guy.
What's funny is which dude?
No, he's I can't.
Because there's been several that have said that.
Miracle.
Oh, Alan Miracle, yeah.
Yeah, he was just trying so hard to get me to say that I would never allow an abortion in the state of Oklahoma. And I would make sure, when I was going for GOP chair, and I would make sure to only support and elect people that only believe that every baby deserved to live. And I do believe that every baby deserves to live. What I don't believe is telling other people what the fuck they can do.
Right. And, then it comes into the question. It's like, if the baby can't live outside of the womb, is that life yet?
Yeah.
That's really what it comes down to.
I do have parameters and stuff, my beliefs on abortion, but like I said, I don't like telling other people what to do, but that's why I won't ever get elected, Tim, because when people get elected, they get this, and I've never been elected, but this is how I would feel, I think. they get this sense of I'm powerful now. I need to keep my power right here. I need to keep everything secret. I need to not tell anybody anything. And that's, I think, how these town councils and boards and school boards and shit do. And so they keep everybody at arm's length, and that's why nothing gets done. I hate bureaucracy.
Joe says that y'all should have that conversation, and he could be a lot more civil about it. I can vouch for that. Joe is a great guy.
Oh, I love Joe.
Met Joe a couple of times. He's about 13 foot tall, but you know.
Oh, he's a big old boy, but yeah. I don't mind having the conversation. I just, like I said, this dude was just like, whew.
Yeah. Lane says the law tells you what to do every day. Do you disobey them? It's like, well, he did wear around an ankle monitor for some time.
No. You're trying
answer that.
See, I got this because you're trying to say that the law tells us. Well, I'm a member of the society that has created the laws that we follow, and yes, I can choose to disobey or obey the law. Absolutely, I just choose to obey the law most of the time. All the time. I'm pretty much a law-abiding citizen. But no, nobody tells me what I can and can't do. If I want to go out there and kill somebody with an axe, I can't.
Right. But there will be consequences for it.
But what the state of Oklahoma has done now is said, if you're going to have a baby that's going to kill you because you were raped by your MR uncle, and your life is now going to be taken away from you, and we're saying that you can't terminate that pregnancy. No, I'm not about that at all.
Right. And it's a little different. What Ron said is he doesn't tell people what to do. You know, the law doing it is one thing. But yeah, there's a social compact with laws, which we all generally say, okay, we agree that we're just, we're all not going to do this. And if you don't like the law, then you change the law. And that's how that works.
Joe, I always drive the speed limit. I really do.
Do you?
Look at my OCSN. I got like 18 traffic tickets. I always drive the speed limit. Always.
Yeah. Well, you're a marked man, sir. They're after
you. Ain't lying, dude.
Don't go to Tulsa.
Once we do get police in this town, I'm sure that
I have a feeling they'll all know you, and they'll be like, all right, he's all right.
You have no idea how many people have reached out to me in this little small town in just the short period of time that I'm here. I've already had people asking me how to do open records request, and
there you go.
They're just scared of people asking questions and wanting positive change, and I don't know.
Yeah, I mean the same for me. I have people that basically come to me that ask me to do things that they can do. They just aren't willing to do it, for whatever reason. Like people already hate me, so why not?
Well, and I think people have never had to do what we were doing right now in the past, because we've all just had our heads in the sand, and we're just going along with what we thought was normal.
Yeah, but what's great about what we're trying to do here with the show is that we're trying to get Republicans and Democrats in the same comment section, watching the same show, and here and there you're going to see Republicans and Democrats if you come back and watch it. And most of the time, you'll see that the Democrats you thought were nuts aren't, or the Republicans that you thought were nuts aren't, because most people are just they're just regular people.
And I will say that the politicians have kind of caught on to what we're doing, I think, because we're now seeing the Democrats like the liberals like Andy Fugate. He's agreed to come on. Monroe Nichols, if we could ever get a hold of him again, he agreed to come on as well. He's running for Tulsa mayor. And then Melissa Provenzano, she was very eager to come on. So I am seeing it's kind of working out the way we anticipated it would.
Right. Yeah, because Andy Fugate has been on a couple of times, and he has told other people it's like, yeah, it's fine to go on their show. They're not going to, it's not going to be crazy. We're not trying to trash anybody to come on the show. I mean,
right.
That's not what we're about.
Christy Gillespie.
Now, it's still an open-ended invitation. I hope she takes it.
I have to explain that. People think that I'm shitting on Christy Gillespie, and I'm not. I would love for her to come on the show. I've met her several times. I've been face to face with her. I don't have an issue with Christy Gillespie, except we used to be Facebook friends, and I could follow her and this and that, and all of a sudden one day I don't see anything, and I'm just blocked. And this is a normal thing that happens to me a lot. For some reason, I don't know why. I mean, I got ex-wives that are my friends on Facebook, but anyway, Christy had blocked me, and so Tim had reached out and said, "Hey, we'd love for you to come on the show. Why did you block Ron?" And she's like, "Oh, I was just going through and getting rid of some people that I never talked to, and I'm just unfriended people." And I'm like, "Come on now, you want me to swallow that?"
Lauren Boebert might.
Damn.
She might. Yeah, I mean, it's I hope she comes on, but she I think she knows that people know her in Broken Arrow, with name recognition, and that was one thing I learned. It was vital during the elections is just getting your name on a sign in somebody's yard where people can see it. That is, because a lot of people don't follow policies.
No, they don't know anything about what these people stand for.
Right.
They just want to see their nice signs if they're willing to spend enough money on a really cool sign.
Yeah, and subliminal messaging, if you associate this name with good in some way because of the way the design of the sign or whatever, it's so weird, And that's how the people sell products to you as well. These little messages here and there. But
which I did think it was odd that Christy went with Democratic blue T-shirts for her campaign.
Oh, is she using blue T-shirts?
Democratic blue, dude.
Interesting.
I mean, she may be a little bit more to the middle than I thought.
Knocking doors and mailers are way more effective. Well, and my point being that it's just getting your name out there so that people have seen it and heard it.
Yeah, social media does not win elections at all.
Right, regardless of your your policies, because I think the vast majority of people don't know everybody's politics, like what they believe in or not.
And Joe, I will agree. Joe is right. You and Joe are right. The yard signs and knocking doors.
Yeah.
And it's just something I can't stand to do. I can't stand knocking doors because people are just hateful.
Yeah, I feel like a Jehovah's Witness.
Right. Yeah. I don't want to bother somebody on a Sunday afternoon that's trying to enjoy their day off or whatever.
Are y'all seeing my messages?
Yeah, we're trying to ignore them.
I'm seeing your messages. Yeah. You want
comments.
me to Ron for Tulsa mayor and Ron is a radical right? Is that what you're talking about? Yeah, we see him.
Not a radical right. Piss off, Lane.
Oh, I see. I missed this one. I didn't see that. Christy Gillespie, when are you coming on the Loudmouth? I assume you tagged her. If you know Christy, reach out to her and tell her we're not gonna, it's not gonna be crazy.
Were you at her event the other night when she kicked off?
No, but I saw the pictures of it. She had quite a big turnout.
She did.
She had everybody and their dog show up for her, which is,
And Nathan Dom, I've reached out to Nathan Dom so many times asking him to come on the show too, and I'm so glad that Wayne Hill has accepted our offer and said that we'll come out and talk. GOP vice chairman, good job. Nathan Dom, You got to come out of your basement bunker, dude.
I'd like to interview Nathan, to be quite honest with you.
God, wouldn't that be awesome? Senator, GOP chair.
Yeah, I'd love to have him on the show.
We've had Ryan Walters on here.
It's weird, and I've commented to you about this before. It's like Nathan, he'll go so far right, just way to the far right, and then all of a sudden out comes a bill that I'm like, that's a great bill. And I'm like, it's so weird because he kind of, fluctuates or whatever.
I have a reason for that. I have a theory on that.
Go for it.
I think that the bills that are just crazy, cray-cray, like we have to read every president's Thanksgiving proclamation talking about God and Jesus.
Yeah.
I think that's a true Nathan Dom bill. Good on you for that bill, Nathan. But then I think that the bills that, like the gun legislation bill that got passed, things of that nature, are given to him by his caucus, and they're like, "You're going to run this bill."
It's like you're the one that's name is going to be attached to this.
Right.
We don't want it attached to our. That is true. A lot of people put their names on bills they didn't write, and they kind of trade them off, which is it's a little strange. Joe says, "I'm sure you really want to interview Dom." I would love to have.
Oh.
I say interview, but on the show, it's we just kind of shoot the shit. That's what we try to do.
Whatever. You would Bill Maher him.
Don't you mean Jon Stewart
Or Jon Stewart, whichever one he was on, yeah.
That was brutal. I had way more yard signs out than the incumbent last year. Still only got 36.22%. Yeah, I mean the incumbent though also has a clear advantage due to name recognition.
Right, they've been there, yeah.
Right, they're already there, and I think on the ballot, I don't remember if I've seen it or not, but it does say incumbent on the ballot, doesn't it?
I don't know if it does or not. I think
don't
you're
know if
right.
I don't know if I've ever noticed. If it does, it shouldn't. That's how I feel.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah,
I think it's an unfair advantage, but no, it's crazy stuff. Anyway, back to Lauren Boebert. Is there any way she can get around this now that we know she doesn't really, her actions don't really match her rhetoric?
yeah, absolutely. I think she flies right through this. I mean, she ain't done anything that is worse than anybody else that's sitting up there taking our money. I mean,
Yeah.
Ted Kennedy killed a lady and left her for dead after he wrecked that car back in the 60s or 70s. What was
I don't
it?
remember that.
The Chippa, some type of Chippa. Yeah, he came home drunk, driving with a little girl in the car, ran the car off a bridge into the river. He left her there, went home, had breakfast.
Are you serious?
Have you not? You don't know this?
Nope.
Oh my God! Yes,
I'm gonna have to look that up. So,
yes.
so he was what, in his 30s then, 40s?
No, he was younger than that. Probably he was a senator though, or maybe
you said in the 60s.
Let me see here. It's
Wow.
Chappaquiddick. Yeah. Look up
Is that
Chappaquiddick.
a tribe, or was that her name?
Chappaquiddick is the town that they were in.
Oh, okay.
There was like all kinds of waterways and rivers and stuff, and he was.
Now, granted, I mean that's a little different, because we're talking about lifestyle choices, I guess. But man,
he left the little girl and went home
and he never called.
Never called. Went home and
What
took
a
a shower
piece
and
of shit.
You need to look it up. I'm not even lying. If I'm lying, I'm dying. If I'm lying, I'm wrong. He went home and his daddy got a hold of it and took care of it.
Wow.
And he was always reelected.
That's crazy. Lane, find the church he goes to. Go to the church.
Just become a member of the church.
Yeah. And then you'll instantly become a decent person that they'll bring into the fold. There's a whole ass movie. Please tell me the name of this movie. I've never heard of this. I mean,
Joe, am I wrong?
I always liked Ted Kennedy, but God, if that's the case.
Oh, that was just making
He died, what, like 5 years ago?
Yeah, it wasn't very long ago.
10 years ago? Wow, what a piece of trash.
But I mean, look at Bill Clinton. Look at JFK.
Bill Clinton. Yeah, I don't know. This one is to me because they didn't run around.
No, they kept it in the dark. Yeah,
moral superiority as their platform. This moral high ground, if you will.
Right. Well, is Boebert? I guess that's how you say her name. I call her
Bieber. Lauren Bieber.
Big Booty Judy. I don't give a shit. Is she? I know that Marjorie Taylor Greene is just batshit crazy out there, and I am conservative, but there are people that are out there, and she's one of them.
I feel like they're cousins.
But I know that she's super, super religious, and I'm sure that Boebert is too, or Boebert, or whatever her name is.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't think I will ever hear her say anything about morals or whatever until she cleans this up and spends a little bit of time proving herself and leading by example. No, I don't think she needs to be out of there. But
Joe loves Marjorie Taylor Greene. Man, I can't stand either one of them.
Marjorie Taylor Greene is she. I like her I like her spunk. I like her enthusiasm. I like her passion. But she's too far right for me. I mean, she may be just right up your alley, Joe. But she's too far right.
Okay, okay, I appreciate that, Joe. I love some of the stuff she said. Yeah, I mean,
Right, yeah, exactly.
they've said some pretty horrific shit, both of them. Yeah, I mean, there's a long list, but I I don't know. It's wild to me. But then again, it almost is better to have somebody who has these flaws in their life and sometimes does stupid shit, because it makes them more of a human than somebody who is faking it and just lies and buries everything they do that's fucked up.
Exactly. Look
Yeah.
at least they're young. I mean, look, we just had Nancy Pelosi talking about all her successes in San Francisco, and she just announced her run for re-election.
She needs to go back into the crypt, because she is the crypt keeper. That's what I call her. Her and McConnell both need to just retire. Don't get me started on old Mitch.
Turtleneck.
Oh, turtle. Oh my goodness. I mean, the dude, he was like, and I feel bad for the guy. I know he's struggling with some health problems, but
Obviously.
damn.
What's that other one?
Who was the guy they used to wheel his Strom Thurmond? I think they used to wheel his ass in a freaking, like, on a hospital bed or whatever, so he could vote.
Yeah, he was like, I think he was 106 or something when he died. He was over 100.
Why are we doing this to ourselves?
It's because Strom Thurmond sold his soul to the devil. Is what I think happened there. I mean, that dude was like a grand wizard of the Klan, wasn't he?
Yes, Cocaine Mitch. I think him and Biden were good friends too.
Oh, you know how Biden likes the old ones.
I thought he liked the young ones, but
Well, he likes to smell the young ones. He likes the old Klan members. But
Oh, my
yeah,
God.
no, he gave a eulogy at a Klan member's funeral.
yeah.
I don't remember who it was, but
Geez.
Thurman was a grand wizard. I thought he was a
Yeah.
grand wizard in KKK, and he kept getting elected up until like 1990.
Right. That's wild to me. That is wild. I just, at some point, it's time to retire. I really think that we need an age limit. What do you think about an age, like a cap? Because your mental faculties do diminish with age. Some people. I mean, most people do.
I just, if I said that, I would have never got to see Ronald Reagan be president.
Yeah, but I mean, some people are fine, but I think it's better to just say, look, if you're like in your 80s or late 70s, you're probably so far removed from the coming generations that you have no idea, like, what's going on. Like Hillary Clinton not being able to, like, pump gas or whatever. George Bush.
What? Is that a real thing?
Yeah, check stuff out. Yeah, I mean, I don't, this may have been misinformation back in the day, but I remember stories going around about that where, there's this is neat, because they hadn't had to shop for themselves. You know what I mean? Like, everybody does it for them. It's Dianne Feinstein. Yes, that's another one that needs to go.
Yeah, she does. If you have a POA and your aide on the floor of Congress is telling you what to say, then
Right.
you got to go.
Yeah,
you got
yeah.
to go. I'm sorry, you got to go. I love you. Thank you for your
Right.
service. You got to go.
Yeah. Lane says 85 should be the age cap. I mean, there is people in their mid 70s. There's a lot of people in their mid 70s that are, but then again, you have those exceptions like Bernie Sanders. That dude is sharp as a tack.
My father's
then
77 years old and works 80 hours every
Right.
other week.
Then you look at Biden. That dude's, I mean, it feels like he doesn't know where he's at half the time. But then he'll go and give a speech that it comes out just natural. So
That's called dementia.
yeah, I mean, he's struggling, and now we're struggling. But that's why I'm going for RFK.
RFK.
I'm endorsing RFK. I say RFK, but it's RFK Jr.
I like the dude, but I wish he could talk better. I hate that God hates him.
Oh, shit. Wow.
No,
That's-
what is that thing with his voice? What does it do?
Yeah,
What is it?
there's a medical term for it. I forget what it's called, but it basically causes spasms in the vocal cords, and he has to. When he was young, he had to train to get it to where it's at today. It's hard for him to talk. Like he has to.
It sounds painful to listen to him talk.
Yeah.
But he does have some great points, and he is a lot more towards the middle. And
Right.
he was actually like kicked out of the Kennedy family, as far as I know. Like not kicked out, but he like didn't
and
go.
The Kennedys have always been relatively bipartisan. I mean, you could place them in a category of politics, but they've always generally just done what they thought was right. And I think that's why JFK died. Because
RFK died.
Right. He was like, look, military industrial complex can kiss my ass. And they were like, well, how about we Lee Harvey Oswald your ass?
Do you think that death threat on RFK Jr. the other day was real? Like anything substantial?
I think that the people who run the country do not want RFK to be president. That's what I think. I think if he does get elected, somebody will do that.
I will say,
and if he does, and I'll point out, if he does, just look at that, because we had Donald Trump, who was hated by people more than probably any other president that we've seen. The vitriol that came out towards him, yet he didn't. He didn't have any issues as far as that goes. Yet this other guy who really hasn't done anything to piss people off to the level that Trump did, and he gets assassinated, that should tell you all you need to know. This is the establishment that
the
would
establishment,
do that. Right? Not the people, because the people generally don't. They don't like that. If somebody shot and killed Biden, Republicans would come out and call for that person to be dealt with.
Right.
I fully believe that. I mean, it's just, you don't do that. But, and JFK was loved because he was like, y'all.
My father loved JFK. My father's a staunch right-wing conservative.
Yeah. Yeah, he was loved all across the world, this guy. They have statues of JFK in several countries.
And I think it's because of Joe's last statement. He would be, today's society, he would probably be considered to the right, because he was down the middle back then. Like you said, he did right and wrong.
Right. Yeah, because they tried to convince him, like the Bay of Pigs, I think, is where that started. They had already had that situation where it was laid out, the plans were laid out, and he got in there, and then they executed it. But he told them, he said, we're not going to go into Cuba. We're not putting boots on the ground in Cuba. And he told them that, but he's like, but if, go ahead. And it failed because the people that they had, the people that fled Cuba, the CIA then trained them and then shipped them back over there so that they could try and take back the country. And what they told JFK was, oh, well, if we do that, then the rest of the people in Cuba are going to join forces.
Nobody showed up.
There'll be a right. Nobody did. And because Fidel Castro had outed the people that were basically stealing the resources and selling them to U.S. companies, because U.S. companies had a handle on all the basic resources from Cuba, and that's where all that started. But then they came back to him and they were like, oh shit, man, they're dying, they're getting captured, things are going sideways, and JFK's like, I told you, we're not putting boots on the ground.
And then a couple months later, they're like, we're going to need you to send some people into Vietnam.
Right. Yeah. I mean, there were a lot of moving parts behind that, because we had been in Vietnam. We'd had troops in Vietnam since like the 50s, since like the early 50s, and
we had advisors in Vietnam.
Right. 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 Yeah. It was a mess, and he didn't want to do that either. But Lyndon Johnson, he sure got his way, didn't he? Ooh. I wonder what that was all about. But so yeah, RFK, I think is more, the establishment's more afraid of him than they are Trump. And that's,
I don't know about that.
Yeah, no, Trump he's an easy target.
I don't think RFK stands a chance of even getting the nomination. I don't think Biden and his people are going to let that happen.
I mean, he may not. But there's a reason that the establishment took over all the media in this country. And that's the reason. Because they push that line, oh, you're unelectable. The only electable people are the ones that we've picked for you. And then that way, all the people that they're all highlighting as electable candidates are the ones that they're like, well, you could choose either one of it, and we're still going to get our way.
Right. Because I haven't heard anything about RFK Jr. in the media.
Right. Yeah, right here. After JOK, yeah.
No, that's the truth. I was laughing because that's the truth.
Right. He wasn't going to do that, and that's what happens. I mean, yeah, that's unfortunate, but and I really, really think that RFK is similar to JFK in that way, and I believe that our country is so scarred by what's happened over the last 8-10 years that we need somebody like that, like a JFK, to bring us all back together. That's my opinion.
I was reading this article the other day in this Secret Service man that was in the limousine behind JFK when he got shot and followed him to Parkland Hospital. He came out and broke his silence the other day with this article and said, I always believed what the Warren report said. Whatever my country says, that's what happened. But he said that he was the one that retrieved the magic bullet from the limousine and placed it on the stretcher.
Oh, interesting.
And he said that he put it on. He said that he put it on either JFK's stretcher or Conley's stretcher, but it got switched. Hey, Kira, will you bring me a beer, please? Thank you. Anyway, switched it, and they were next to each other and it got switched or something. Anyway, this guy's story is completely bullshit because all he was saying was he's fixing to die, and he wrote his memoir and about the events that day, and now he's coming out to break his silence to get more action on his book. Is what I was thinking. Thank you, babe.
That doesn't make any damn sense to me.
He said that he got the pristine bullet. It was lodged down, but behind where Kennedy or Conley was sitting or something, and he guessed it had fell down in the seat.
Yeah, what Joe's talking about here. Yes, the Banana Republic coming from that. It is amazing the amount of violence and shit that came from bananas. And in matter of fact, this whole industry is the reason why there's basically only one type of banana anymore.
Well, another thing about bananas, you know why they're so valuable, right?
Why? Because they control the market.
But it takes 8 years for a banana tree to fruit.
Wow, that's insane. And see, now they've gotten it down to where there's the one type of banana, and so any kind of virus or whatever that takes them out is really going to fuck up the banana industry.
I can't stand bananas.
Bombed Guatemala in 90 over bananas. That shit's bananas.
We did?
Yeah, so I don't know the specifics of the story, but I know I've heard of what he's talking about. I'd have to look it back up again, but yeah, I've read about this. It's crazy.
Down.
That's crazy shit. It's bananas. I wonder if that's...
I see what you did there.
I wonder if that's where the colloquial bananas came from. Because
how do you spell Guatemala?
Guatemala.
Okay.
Yeah. The guy who worked the false flag to get this to all happen was the nephew of Sigmund Freud. Oh, Bernays, yeah. He was the guy that did the cigarette ads, too. I believe. Bernays, he basically started the entire psychological marketing type stuff where they use psychology to get people to buy shit.
See, this is what happens when you read books. I don't know anything about what y'all are talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, same dude. Yeah, Bernays. Yeah, he made his...
Joe, watch your fucking mouth, Joe. Shit.
Well, the guy is kind of a piece of shit, in my opinion. Like, when you manipulate people to get shit. Because this was when... I think he's the one that came up with the whole marketing scheme of doctors, where they got doctors to jump in on the bandwagon about cigarettes being good for you. It's a dietary supplement.
Oh, yeah, 4 out of 5 doctors recommend you smoke Camels over whatever. Right. I remember that. Yeah,
yeah, because and that's how they marketed it to women as a weight loss. Crazy.
That is crazy. Hey, yeah, I know that we planned on wrapping this up in 30 minutes, but
yeah,
it's coming up on an hour.
Talking, shit just comes out.
I would like to.
Yes.
One more thing.
And that's why they used that woman. What was that model's name? They used that lady, and she ended up dying of lung cancer.
Not
God, what
Sophia
was her name?
Loren, was it?
No, I'm drawing a blank, but yeah, there was one woman who basically was the poster child of that. You know, it's like, oh, look at me, I smoke, and look at me, and then 10 years later, she's like, oh, have you seen those pictures from back in the day? I was a catch, wasn't I? And here
Oh,
my
my God.
dumbass is
Smoking it up.
fuck
But
you,
the
Bernays.
cigarettes today are much safer, kids. Don't worry about that. They only have like cyanide and shit in them these days.
Oh my God, battery acid.
Speaking
Sometimes
of,
when I light up a cigarette, I got to say this: I smell coolant. smells
yeah,
like-
every once in a while you do get a cigarette that tastes like you're.
Yeah, because I'll be driving down the road. I'm like, fuck, am I leaking coolant?
That's the truth.
Yeah.
That is the truth.
Yeah, I agree with you there, Joe. Sorry, go ahead, Ron.
No, I was gonna tell everybody that's watching or does watch, if y'all got a content or topic that y'all want us to discuss, if we find it interesting, shoot it this way. I mean, I would like to talk to you about the Filipino people that go around on motorcycles just killing drug dealers and lead them in the middle of the street, shit like that.
Crazy. Crazy,
But
crazy.
anyway, yeah. So I enjoyed this conversation with Joe this afternoon.
Yeah.
But let's wrap it up because we're coming up on an hour, and remind everybody of who all we got coming on and when. And gosh, it's going to be a busy week, couple weeks.
Be. Yep, it will be. I'm looking forward to it. A lot of great people coming on to you know, make their case for themselves, and it'll be good shit. Wow, you guys see that vid of the kids who stole the car and ran over that retired cop? No, I haven't seen that.
When was that?
Jeez, that's like, man,
I'll have
shit
to look
like
that up.
Happens all the time. No, I hadn't heard of that. That's crazy.
Joe, we need to get you. I know you sent us some messages, but we need to get you on here. Tell O'Brien to come with you too. He talks too much. Brian talks too much.
Are you talking about Esom?
No, Brian Hobbs. I'd get Brian Esom on here. You want me to get Brian Esom on here?
Brian, yeah, dude's. I crack up whenever he does them daily puns.
Oh yeah,
Good shit.
Yeah,
the
he
dad
is.
jokes.
Yeah.
All right. Do you have anything else, Ron?
No, I'm looking forward to talking to Timothy Brooks and Melissa Provenzano, Wayne Hill. We're gonna get him on here.
Yeah.
Bunch of people, and then we're gonna follow up with Jennifer Harmon as well. But I think we're waiting to hear back from the other side on that. So
Yes. Yeah, because I had reached out and got connected with them. I haven't received a response yet, but I'm waiting on that. It may take a week, is what I last heard. So, yeah, he stole the car, went driving around hitting other cars, and then dead centered a guy on a bike and ran him over on purpose and killed him. Wow.
damn.
You know, wow.
Such a waste.
That kid should have gotten beat more, maybe. As
They
a
were
child.
laughing the whole time. Jesus Christ.
That's fucked up. Yeah, I'll have to look that up. It's like that
All right.
train wreck, you know, that Boebert boob squeeze.
And if y'all want to go back to
Yeah.
the start of this, there's a great video. But
Great
don't let your
video.
kids watch it.
Yeah, it's definitely inappropriate. Unless you're a U.S. representative, then I guess totally inappropriate. Totally appropriate.
Unless you're a Coloradian or Coloradan.
All right. That's funny. Well, Joe, you can reach out to me too, buddy. I don't bite.
I think he said he sent us some emails.
Yeah, I'll have to. I'll follow up on that, Joe. And I guess we'll have you on at some point next week or a couple of weeks or something. We'll work that out.
Sounds good.
All right. Well, thank you everybody who is watching, and we will see you next time. We got a lot of stuff coming up in the following week, so make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube, Loudmouse, Facebook, Loudmouse, and don't forget about little old me, the liberal loudmouth, on YouTube.
Yeah.
All right. We'll see y'all later.
See ya.
All right. Peace.